All right, folks, welcome to Procreate. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to create a new canvas. So let's hit the plus sign. Let's just make this one screen size. All right, now take your thumb and forefinger, spread them apart, put them on the canvas, and then bring your fingers together. That is what's called a gesture, and it allows you to shrink the canvas just like I did here. Now, what I'd like you to do, let's go ahead, grab a brush, let's grab the studio pen, and let's grab blue. So we're in the color blue. Make sure you're on blue when it comes to hue around this outside, and that you're in blue in this inside as well. All right, so let's go ahead and place a blue X over here. I'm going to show you all about layers. This layer now has an X. You see how I got to layers? Up here in the right hand corner. And now, let's go ahead and swipe over, and I swiped to the left, and let's duplicate the layer. All right, now you see how the layer has the same name, layer 1 and layer 1. Now I'm going to show you how to rename a layer. Click in the little gray box there with the blue X and hit rename. And let's call this layer 2. And then click anywhere outside to get back to where you were. Now, it doesn't seem like being able to rename layers is a big thing, but when you're 130 layers deep in an animation, oh, it matters. Good layer naming habits create good projects. All right, now let's practice transformation. Let's grab the transform tool, and let's go ahead and now move this X down to this corner. So now you've just moved one of your images, and then click off the transformation tool. All right, now let's add a layer. You did this before. Click on the layer, hit the plus sign. This is now layer 3. Let's rename it. Click in the gray, rename, and call it red circle. Click outside, and now you've renamed your layer. Let's go ahead, grab our brush. We're still going to use the studio pen, but this time I want you, instead of making it blue, to make it red. So you see I changed the hue. All right, so now we're going to create a red circle. And you know what? Let's go ahead and create that red circle on top of the blue one. Now watch this. If I grab my stylus, I click on the red, and I drag the red in here, it's going to flood fill this image. Now, what just happened? Where'd the blue X go? Notice the red circle is above the blue X. So layers stack on each other like a sheet of paper. To move the blue X on layer 2 up above the red, what do we have to do? Probably going to have to move up the layer, right? To do that, click in the gray box and just move it to the top. Hey, there's the blue X. Awesome. Now, let's grab the blue X. Let's move it back down. Awesome. And one more time, up. All right. So you know how to rename a layer. You know how to add a layer. Now let's go ahead and delete a layer. Let's go to layer 1, left swipe, and hit delete. Cool. Okay. So now you know how to delete a layer, how to rename a layer, how to restack a layer. Now I'm going to show you how to group a layer. So go to the red circle, then take your stylus and right swipe on the blue X. You see how both of those turn blue? Hit group. Now, groups, if I have 2 layers and then I collect them into a group, now when I go to transform, I can move one layer independently, or if I grab the group, oops, I need to unlock one of those. Now I can move the entire group. So groups allow you to move multiple layers as one object. You can rename them the same way. Right click on the little black line there, rename, call it X and circle group. Perfect. And now let's say that I no longer want them grouped. I can grab the blue X and I can move them up above. I can move the red circle up above. And then if I left swipe on the group, I can delete the whole group. So layers are extremely powerful. There are 3 areas you need to know about layers. One is when you swipe left, you can lock, duplicate, or delete. When you click inside the gray box, you can rename, select, copy, fill. We'll deal with all of those. And the last thing that I want to show you before we end this lesson, take a look where the little letter N is. Layers have opacity, so I can turn down or up the opacity. And this is also where I will be able to affect the blend modes. Blend modes are a complex concept. We're not going to cover them in this, but that's where they exist. So let's go ahead and stop here. We are going to cover blend modes. It'll just be a couple more sections down when we get to the more advanced. All right, you know enough to be dangerous, but not enough to make a difference. All right, we'll see you in the next one.